Welcome back to the channel. So taking a break away from educational slash edutainment stuff, I thought I'd take you guys around with me and show you what I get up to. I did get a question around this last year if I remember, and I never got around to doing it. Almost like a vlog, if you will. So I'm going to show you a couple of things I'm going to get up to today. I'm actually planning to go to the library, the Mitchell Library in Glasgow. I've got a couple of things to get done for the coaching clients, and I'm going to show you as I get through it as well, because it's quite exciting. So I'll take you through. Everything's going to be unfiltered, it'll be raw, very minimal editing. So if you're into that sort of stuff, you can just have this on in the background. And yeah, I'll show you how I approach my day. So let's go. So the first thing is to get some coffee. Now, I don't really use a lot of specialty beans, right? I love my coffee, but I just kind of go with whatever I have access to. So I normally get my coffee from Waitrose. It's probably the only time I shop there. I use Grumpy Meal for the most part. That's the preferred one, or the Japanese one. I think it's Yoshima, I think. I pop it on the screen if I remember. My mind's gone blank because I've not had my caffeine yet. But Costa Coffee is the one that I got just now. It is not nice at all. I do not like it, but this is the only one I had access to. So let me just show you how I do it. So I've got access to a couple of things. So I usually kind of alternate between the AeroPress and the espresso machine here. And also I have a cafetiere, which I'm not using today. Now, I want to share something with you guys. You need this in your life. I got one for decaf and one for regular. If you want to store coffee, you know what, this is not easy to do. Hang on, there we go. So if you want to store coffee and you want it to last longer, you need an AirScape, okay? AirScapes are quite good just because it allows you to be able to take the oxygen out, because obviously air and oxygen is the killer of coffee beans, and also other kind of spices as well. So just something to kind of bear in mind. So there we go, there's a coffee right there. And all you do is basically, when you're ready to close, you can see the little nozzle there, and a bit of ASMR action. Let's do that again. You ready for this one? There we go. All the air has escaped and it's out, and then you can close your coffee like that, and job's a good one. So yeah, this is generally what I tend to do most mornings actually. I do a little bit of intermittent fasting, almost like a modified version. It's something that I just do naturally because over the years I've realised if I'm trying to get kind of a lot of work done early morning, lots of food doesn't sit well with me. It makes me kind of tired. But you know, you guys have felt that before when you have a lot of food and you feel quite sluggish. So I like to put off my food until later in the day, and it just allows me to get my day started. The AeroPress is something I've relied on for so long, honestly. It's been an absolute lifesaver, and as I said, it's quite cheap. I've done a video on this before, and it's so easy to set up. So if you're looking for something entry level to get going with making the switch from instant coffee to ground coffee, get the AeroPress, and it's the single best thing you'll own. It'll save you a ton of money in the process as well. We're just waiting for that to brew. I'm not the biggest coffee guy. I mean, I love to make my coffee and stuff, but there's still a lot I need to learn. So I normally let the AeroPress brew for about 2 to 3 minutes. Cafetiere a little bit longer, but yeah, it's quite easy. So we actually have 2 big things coming. So the South Asian Diet Coach is the one thing that I'm working on at the minute. And this is something that we have been intending to roll out for a couple of weeks now, but had to take a step back, building algorithms and stuff on the back. And obviously the GLP-1s are taking over, so I'm not obviously going to talk about that. Yes, it does have a place, as I've said before, but there's still a large role that we have to play to make sure that if clients are going down that route, or if they're not, we still want to make sure they're keeping the weight off, they're keeping body fat off, most importantly, they're building muscle tissue. And the South Asian Diet Coach is basically a kind of an adaptive coach where if you're wanting to calorie count, you basically put your calories in, it tracks it for you, and then each week, based on what your weight does, it adjusts it for you. It's pretty cool. So something like that takes a lot of time. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that up and running, and that's what I'm working on today. So I'll show you. And there we go. That's the coffee right there. I'm going to put the little nozzle on, so yeah. And that's all she wrote. Now, you could have instant coffee and just be done with it, but instant coffee just tastes rubbish, and I actually like tasting my coffee. And obviously, don't quote me on this, but I do believe that there are far more antioxidants in proper coffee, especially from the coffee bean, and if you can get a good quality one. So I'm always going to take a little bit of effort in the morning maybe listen to something in the background while I'm making a cup of coffee. So again, you can use a variety of methods, but sometimes I get bored of this, and if I don't feel like having an espresso, I'll just go down the route of having a cafetiere or an AeroPress just to have more of a filtered brew. So yeah. So just before I actually head out to start the day, I thought I'd actually show you this, which is actually pretty decent. So this is it on the screen just now. I'm just sharing it with you. I've got my laptop here. And the premise behind this is just to make everyone's life easier. Now we have a blend of people who like to calorie count, and then we have people who don't like to calorie count. So what we want to do is make sure that the people who are calorie counting are doing it properly. So they're using whatever they use, MyFitnessPal or NutriCheck. And what we've done is there's an inbuilt algorithm here that basically just looks at the amount of energy and the amount of calories you would normally take in a day, and whatever you kind of insert at the end of the day. So if you were given, let's say, 2,500 calories, you would just consume that to the best of your ability. And then at the end of the week, if you log correctly, you track your weight every single morning, and then it tells you based on what the average is, whether you should continue as is or whether you should lower it. Now this is not the interface, obviously I can't show you. If I get permission, I'll show you, but it's very cool. You just track your weight in the morning, you put your calories in that you consumed at the end of the day, and it just goes with the flow, and it's phenomenal. And it's gonna make weight loss a lot easier, especially those who like to track their weight. So yeah, I should probably head out now. Oh yeah, absolutely love coming here. The Mitchell Library holds a special place in my heart. I will do my best to come here at least once a week, and it just means I can just burrow away somewhere. It's huge. I can always work in different floors. AI slop really angers me, so it just means that now I need to really double down on the writing to make sure that, you know, the educational stuff, the content stuff for you guys is still human. A lot of people are taking shortcuts, and for me, I need to have that deep work. So the Mitchell Library is a place that I go to for that. I absolutely love coming here. So yeah, if anyone's watching this from Glasgow and you have seen me here in Mitchell Library, because I know someone did actually last time, come and say hi. And here we go. Now, pre-workout nutrition is a huge thing for me. I want to make sure I'm fueled, so this is something I didn't actually plan on doing because I finished a bit early. So normally for my pre-workout, I will do eggs on toast, very easy, but today I felt something a little bit less carb because I didn't record it, but I did have a protein bar, which I don't normally have on the way back. So 3 scrambled eggs, some kefir yogurt with some flax seeds. Now there are fats in here, so I wasn't working it immediately, so the digestion will be slow. So I worked it about 2 hours later. So 3 scrambled eggs, some rice cakes, and kefir yogurt with some flax seeds, and it's tasty, man. You just gotta find ways to make your food taste good. That's the key thing here. A lot of people think this is bland and boring, and it looks boring, but honestly it tasted well, because I'm a sucker for tasty foods. As long as it's healthy as well in the process, it's a win-win. So I'll share snippets from my workout here if anyone is interested. Don't know if anyone is, but because I train from home, I've got everything that I need here. The biggest, I guess the hardest part is kind of motivating myself, because there's not a lot of people around me. So I try to make sure I train only 3 times a week now, and they are productive sessions. So I try to make sure I hit all my muscle groups. And I did do a video on Instagram, which some people found helpful, looking at the type of equipment I've got. So if anyone wants to know how to build a gym like this with minimal equipment, and you know, it's not overly expensive as well, give me a shout, and I'll be more than happy to share some tidbits for sure. So feeling a bit peckish, so post-workout I had a bit of toast, in fact 2 pieces of toast. It was protein bread, and I did one with Biscoff and one with peanut butter. So normally I don't have peanut butter after workouts because it's quite slow digesting, but I was craving something peanut buttery and Biscoffy. And then I just did a little bit of work, and this is a very boring typical day for me where I don't really get out to do much. So this is generally what I tend to do most days. I didn't show you any of the client stuff because there was quite a lot I had to get done, so I was having interactions and I obviously couldn't share that with you. But yeah, this is it. Routine is everything, and I think a lot of people will realize that as well when they're trying to lose weight. You crave routine because that's how you make progress. Doing the same thing consistently is ultimately the way to succeed. And then dinner time was some chicken palak here. This was one of my favorites actually, and yeah, absolutely loved it. I made it with chicken breast, which is a bit of a surprise to some people because normally people use thigh or whole chicken. So chicken breast, very high in protein here, fairly low in calories, and some roti, and that's it. If anyone stuck with me till the end, thank you very much for watching. and I'll resume the educational stuff. But if you found this quite entertaining, let me know, because it means I can create more of these sort of videos. Until next time.